Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, May 29th, 2021. The impact map for the next few days shows a threat of some thunderstorm activity across central Nevada and into central and northeast Utah today. These are isolated storms, but with limited amount of precipitation, we are definitely concerned about some new initial attack out of these thunderstorms. And then south of this dashed line here, we do have critically dry fuels across the Great Basin with some record-setting ERCs. Those thunderstorms will continue on Sunday, mainly over the higher elevations of central and eastern Utah. And then on Monday, we'll really start to build in some heat as high pressure builds into the Great Basin. So we're highlighting this area in brown over much of Nevada for very warm temperatures and low relative humidities. That's some breezy winds moving up into the south central Great Basin, and then some just lingering thunderstorms there over far southeast Utah. Yesterday was generally sunny and dry. The Great Basin fire activity shown here. There may be a few fires missing off this map. One for sure is the goat fire here in central Utah. Precipitation for the past 30 days shows a continued dry trend over Utah and southern Nevada and western Idaho. And ERCs remain very high and on the upward trend over especially far southern Utah and the Arizona Strip, and southern Nevada as well. Closer look at a couple of these areas here in west central Utah. Those values are very high for the time of year, bumping up against the maximums. And across far southern Nevada, same story, very high for the time of year. We've already been setting records earlier this year, and those values will continue to climb over the next few days. Sagebrush live fuel moisture values are kind of a little bit of a mixed bag right now. This station here at Muskrat in northern Utah already peaked close to its normal time and did a very dramatic drop to where we're setting new record lows for the time of year. Further south, over southwest Utah, the values are actually above normal for the time of year with a delayed peak. And same thing in far western Nevada, above normal values for the time of year, and the peak does seem to be delayed by about 6 weeks or so. So we'll see what happens to these values over the next couple of weeks. This morning's satellite imagery is showing a little bit of that moisture coming up into the central Great Basin today, which will kick off some thunderstorm activity mainly over central Nevada and central and northeast Utah. Elsewhere, westerly flow. So for today, again looking at a little bit of moisture across the central Great Basin. No high risk triggers issued for those thunderstorms, as most of them will occur where fuels are not especially critical just yet. Minimum relative humidities are shown here. Pretty low values across the far south in the single digits, 5 to 7%. Fairly early in the year to be seeing relative humidities quite so low down there, as well as far northwest Nevada. And then the image on the right shows where we're expecting that precipitation to pop up today, mainly over the central Nevada mountains, and then central Utah and northeast Utah, higher elevations as well. On Sunday, the moisture continues to work its way further eastward and will highlight thunderstorm activity over central and eastern Utah with clearing further west. Dry air really moves into Nevada as that ridge starts to build in, so very low relative humidities across Nevada and western Utah by Sunday. The moisture in place still over central and eastern Utah for these afternoon thunderstorms popping up. Some of those thunderstorms could move into southern Utah and even the Arizona Strip, so we'll definitely be looking for the threat of any thunderstorm or lightning activity here, which may cause some new initial attack fires, especially where we have critically dry fuels in southern Utah. On Monday, generally dryness returns. There may be still some lingering isolated thunderstorms in far eastern Utah, but a generally drier pattern. We'll see the high pressure ridge begin to build into California with temperatures increasing region-wide. So for Monday, looking at the winds here, there may be some higher wind speeds across western Utah, and then all of these little pinkish dots here are thunderstorm outflows that may occur over southwest Utah. lighter winds in place over Nevada and Idaho, and that's what we're expecting through the weekend, and will continue into the first part of next week with that ridge building in. So just some lingering chance for some thunderstorms over southeast Utah on Monday. The 3-day precip totals, I really just show a little bit of precip moving in today, and then the precip over Utah on Sunday. By Tuesday, the ridge still remains the dominant feature. We'll begin to move further eastward into the Great Basin for continued warming temperatures area-wide. Then on Wednesday, the ridge looks to center itself kind of over the Great Basin. We'll expect very warm temperatures, highs in the low 90s possible in some of our northern valleys. So definitely very warm as we head into the 1st of June. Warm temperatures continue on Thursday. There is a little trough trying to move into the Pacific Northwest here that may bring a little bit of moisture into Idaho, and we'll see if some wind will accompany that low as we get into the second half of next week. So on Friday, that trough still hanging out over the southern Canadian border. Maybe a little bit of moisture here and there across the Great Basin with possibly some increased westerly winds. No precipitation expected in the extended forecast, really, besides what we're expecting here in the short term. After that, it dries out. And the extended forecast for June 5th through the 11th is calling for above normal temperatures over Utah and Nevada, with below normal chances for precipitation pretty much across the Great Basin. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.